Hey guys, how are we? Oh, look, I'm going to be straight up with you. I woke up the other day, yesterday I think it was, with a bit of a bad back, and just where the scapula sort of connects with rhomboids, and either just pinched a nerve or don't know what's going on with that, but every now and then I get these back spasms. So if I'm in the middle of a video and I just sort of wince, you know what's going on here. But yeah, that's the view from up here. Oh, I hope you enjoyed that video last night of walking street in Pattaya. Shot so many videos, but just was unable to upload them onto my video editing software. I could only do 30 videos at a time, and it just wouldn't let me. So you got limited views, and a great subscriber just let me know in the comments too, hey, you can't take footage of people in Thailand and you know, like you're walking along the streets or whatever, you've got to be very cautious. So there is a function in the editor for YouTube that allows you just to blur people's faces out, so we've applied that. Hopefully that'll process sooner rather than later. But I hope you enjoyed the video. I mean, Pattaya Walking Street is a crap hole. I don't mean to be rude and condescending, but it's not even covered surfaces anymore. A lot of those establishments are closed and they're wrecks, they're just rubble. And what you do see is really, really quiet. It's certainly nothing I wouldn't visit it. It's, you know, it's a waste of time. The most exciting stuff there was the food. So I would not be going out of my way, and I know there's quite a few of you guys that love going to walking street in Pattaya. Yeah, you know, guys' night out and going to have a good time, holiday. You save up all year long, and you know, just to come to Thailand, head off to Pattaya, Koh Samui, and sorry guys, but she's buggered. There's nothing good in that place. It's just a crap hole. As I said, it's just roadworks. A lot of the infrastructure is just completely dilapidated, and a lot of the establishments are closed, and what you do see is just, you know, whatever. But what I do want to address today is there is a coming implosion. I've got a spidey sense, and I tell you what, I'm usually pretty damn good with this. You're going to see a black Swan event occur between now and the end of the year. Almost guarantee it. Quite a few world leaders have basically said, hey, look, we're already in World War III. And, you know, I agree. It started a long time ago, probably months ago. But they're sort of talking about that now. The 10-year bond yields back down to 3.12. Someone's been buying up a lot of that debt, and I think that's just the US Federal Reserve. Did see the European Central Bank buying up a whole pile of debt, and did see the euro strengthen the other day. The central banks are actively buying up debt, actively involved in these economies. The problem is when they keep buying debt, they're just adding more money to the system. That is going to end up in more inflation. It's going to get to a runaway point where they can't do a damn thing about it. And that's when you know, you're going to have another Bay of Tonkin event. That's what started the Vietnam War. Or when Archduke Ferdinand was assassinated, and that began World War I in 1914. So just keep an eye on this. This is where we're heading. This is what I think is going to happen. I don't know what it is, but it is not good. The other thing is China the other day launched a brand new aircraft carrier. It was a big deal. Chinese take, you know, great pride in that sort of stuff. It was, I think it's named after a province where Xi Jinping was the ruler of the Chinese Communist Party in his early years, and where he cut his teeth. And you know, the following day, Sorry guys. The following day, there was a massive fire in Shanghai. Well, 3 massive fires, 3 explosions, huge explosions at an oil refinery in Shanghai. And to give you an idea, the Chinese see those sort of events. Hey, they launch a brand new aircraft carrier. This is the pride of Shanghai, the pride of China. And it's named after Xi Jinping's, favorite area in China, where he ruled for, I think it was 40 years, 44 years if I'm not mistaken. The following day you've got a massive bloody explosion, or 3 massive explosions that have rocked Shanghai. And you're not going to see that in mainstream media. So the thing that you don't know about China, and keep an eye on this, China's made up of 57 different people groups. Most of them speak their own dialect. They were brought together by force, I think it was in the 1963 Cultural Revolution, in which about 60 million people were killed, particularly the academics and the ruling class and all that sort of stuff. But the thing is, China has been brought together by force twice before, and twice before been ripped apart at the seams, purely because such a diverse people group with their own dialect, and then you've got 16 free trade zones in the east, which are quite affluent, and then you've got the subsistence living in the west with all the farmers and production, and you've got major problems in China. Stratfor Intelligence a couple of years back said, hey, there's 183,000 riots in China. I think it was in 2014, and it's just getting worse every year. That's what people don't know about China. And this is the second biggest economy in the world. What I'm saying is, get ready for this thing to just blow. There's going to be a black swan event. All of these countries are desperate for a distraction, desperate to bring about a new currency, to write off a lot of the debt that they currently have by bringing out a new currency at 10, 20, 30 times the current value. It effectively eliminates a lot of their debt. So just keep an eye on that. There's some really major stuff coming, and you don't have this sort of stuff occurring. Even Joe Biden falling off his push bike the other day, and I've gone from holding sheer contempt for he and the Democrats to, I feel sorry for the guy. I mean, this guy should be impeached for not being cognitively sufficient to run the country. But I think that will happen after the midterm elections. So, there's a distraction that's required for a lot of these people, and I think we're on the cusp of that at the moment. And as I said, you saw the Bay of Tonkin event. That's what started the Vietnam War. Weapons of mass destruction started the Iraq War, 9/11. And I'm not trying to be a conspiracy theorist. I'm trying to talk like a mathematician, and because this is what they call sandpile theory, and you can look that up yourself, and I'm not going to go into it. But basically, what it's saying is these sort of events trigger massive cascading knock-on events that completely are paradigm shifting. So you just think about what life was like, pre 9/11 and post 9/11. I mean, pre 9/11 you could jump on an aircraft without having to hardly do anything in regards to security, baggage checks and all that sort of stuff. Nowadays, can't do that. Extremely strict security. So you just wait for things to change again. And I think we're on the cusp of another paradigm shifting event. And my bet is that it's going to be economic. I think you're going to see some sort of event that's going to occur to drag in the West officially into World War III, collapse the currencies, bring out a new global trading currency, a new global taxation system. Sovereign nations will cede more and more sovereignty to organizations like the World Health Organization or the United Nations or the World Economic Forum. So just keep an eye on that. The other thing that I'm going to predict is you're going to see some right-wing leaders start to emerge in Europe. Their economy is really starting to get into tatters. Inflation is run away. A mate of mine called me the other day and said, hey Dave, you know, half of these shelves in Greece are empty at the moment. So there's a shortage of food. Inflation, as I said, is running away. And then, as I said, you know, when I was there, it was increasing every day. And there was another leader, political leader in Italy, who said, hey, we're expecting at least 20 million Africans to come into Europe by the end of this year as refugees or economic migrants. And that's going to put even greater pressure on the system. And then what you're going to see is some sort of civil backlash. And I've been convinced of that for some time. You're going to see right-wing leaders emerge in Europe. Keep an eye on that. I did see Nomad Capitalist, I think that's his channel. Never watch it, but I did see someone posted on the Facebook group, the Overseas Exiles. I think it was Danny Love who posted that video where he says, hey, you know, maybe you'd want to go to Serbia and buy a cheap farm for, you know, 16,000, 30,000 euros, or, you know, somewhere in South America. Just keep in mind, I think Europe is going to be absolute bloodbath at some point in the near future, particularly if we see this war with Ukraine start to really get out of hand, and massive shortages. And I do not recommend for anyone to migrate to Europe at this point in time. Really don't. I just don't. That's why we got out of there. I could see the writing on the wall. I could be wrong. Hey, look, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. You know, you've got to decide what you want to do yourself. But I'm just saying this is what we thought. And then South America. Well, South America's got a lot of problems. And South America, a lot of countries in South America have problems with currency, government stability, uprisings, organized crime. I'm not saying they're all the same, and I'm not tarring all of those countries the same, because I know they're all very different. And Nick the other day said to me, hey, what do you think about Panama? You know, Panama's good, cheap passport. I think it's $400, he was saying. And hey, look, the more passports you get, or permanent residencies, the better it is. But anyway, one thing to keep in mind with the Panama is that Panama is a strategic point for shipping and for warships to go through. Whoever holds the Panama Canal holds a lot of power. Keep that in mind. So I think you'll see the Chinese over there in a big way before long, if they're not already there. Asia Pacific really is in big problems. I've been saying that for a long while. I mean, I've met with heads of state in the Asia Pacific for over 10 years, and I can tell you, avoid it. So, you know, look, I don't know all the solutions. I'm not saying things are perfect here in Thailand either, but you know, here I haven't seen any shortages of any goods or services at all. Shout out to George Cotis, love you mate, and Nick, great catching up the other day. And you know, there's some great guys here in Thailand, but I'm not saying it's perfect here. It's not perfect, but it's good for us, and I'm not saying we're going to stay here for indefinitely. We could be gone next week, next month, next year, the year after. I'm not sure. But we feel good for now being here. Everything seems to be in line. So, you know, we're okay, you know, being here at the moment. So, but yeah, I'm not saying this is a solution. I did see somebody the other day say, hey, you know, Bali's a good thing. And there's somebody else say, hey, come to Vietnam, it's cheap, it's stable, blah, blah, blah. So there's all those options. You need to look into them yourself. And you want to have a look at the cost of living, have a look at stability of the government, stability of the currency, and you know, for civil unrest and all that sort of stuff. So keep an eye on that. Anyway, guys, I'm going to leave that there. If you haven't liked and subscribed to the Facebook channel, The Overseas Exiles, do that. You know, join the discussion, get involved. If you need health insurance, there's a link in the description below for Safety Wings. Get on there, sign up. You certainly don't want to be in a place like Thailand or the Philippines or whatever without health insurance. You just don't want to travel without health insurance, and Safety Wings is actually pretty good. It's what we use. Sorry, spasm. Yeah, so do that. I will post some more links. I did post in the video yesterday a link to John something or other, an affiliate marketing program. But you know, a lot of these programs, you can get a lot of information just if you sign up. They keep sending you videos, and you know, go from there. And yeah, they show you, you know, all the things that you need to do. One of the things you will need to do is start your own website if you're going to do, you know, programs like YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. You'll want to try and draw people back to your own website. There's heaps of articles on Overseas Exiles. I add to it every couple of days. So keep an eye on the Overseas Exile website as well. So go and check that out. Overseas Exiles, overseasexile.com. And I'll put a link in the description as well, actually, so you can click on that. But lots of articles. As I said, I add to it every day. And you know, I try and just give people as much information as possible. Might be a lot of information, might be about 300-400 words. That's about it. But you know, you'll get the gist of it. And yeah. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video yesterday. And Walking Street, you know, bit of a letdown, but anyway. But we'll keep the videos coming. And yeah. So anyway, we'll chat with you soon.